Hello Aquarius, welcome to your November 2025 reading. Thank you Spirit for being here with us. I'm just going to pop these cards aside. So at the last minute I got called before starting these November readings to grab my little let go cards and to just draw one at the end of the reading, or draw however many fall out, because I'm still keeping these readings very fluid. So I'm just going to pop those aside and we'll draw one of those at the end of your reading, Aquarius, just as a final letting go message. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope this reading finds you well. Thank you Spirit for being here. You want to come out? These readings have been longer this month. There have been quite a lot of cards falling out, quite a lot of messages coming through. It feels, and that one, thank you Spirit, like a lot of cards. It feels like an important month. Excuse me, Aquarius. So I do apologize in advance. It's the springtime here in Australia and I have terrible hay fever at the moment. So just want to let you all know that I'm well, but yeah, it's just really bothering me. And I want to get these readings out earlier than I did last month. I don't like bringing them out just at the beginning of the month. I'd much rather bring them out earlier, just so that you've got time to work with these energies. I literally was almost going to forget what I was talking about, because Aquarius, okay, this is not male or female. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Look at this feminine energy. It's coming through so strongly. Look at these strong women here. And I hesitated there because I didn't want to say the word women, because I don't want you to think of this as male and female, a man and woman. I want you to think of this as the feminine energy, and it's here in all its power. And what is the feminine energy? It's gentle, but there's so much strength in it, and it's receiving. It's very receptive energy. I look at that. Actually interesting. So Aquarius, so just to let you know, if you have Capricorn in your chart, or you're just drawn, you might be right on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, go and have a listen to the Capricorn energy, because they had these three cards in their reading in different positions, but they were still quite close to each other. It might have even been like that, maybe even in their reading. So these two around the other way. But yeah, if you feel drawn, go and have a listen to their reading as well, just for additional messages. How many of these? Yeah, we've got. I'm just going to move these across. Get your cards all in order so we can see them and focus on them. So I felt like this one to come out first. Blessed. Oh, beautiful. Magic carpet ride and summer house. Oh, beautiful. Just with the words here, I'm not even going to read the cards. I try not to read them because, I mean, sometimes we're called to look at these first, but blessed, magic carpet ride and summer house. There's almost this sense of that summer holiday, and it's not, I mean, some of you might be going on a summer holiday, but it's more the energy of how do you feel when you're preparing for that? How do you feel when you're in the car driving to that destination or getting ready to board that plane? There's that energy here. So we're going to see how it plays out. So Spirit's guiding me to start right with all this feminine energy. So do you know, I'm very drawn to, like I was very drawn to the black cat, and I was like, oh Spirit, you know, the black cat really was jumping out at me. And Spirit said to me, and look at the next card. And I was like, oh, it's the lion. So there is a progression here through this feminine energy that grows and amplifies and gets added to. And interestingly enough, we start with the Empress, and the Empress, like the Emperor is the four kings all rolled into one, and the Empress is the four queens all rolled into one. And you've got one of the queens here. And in fact, you've got the most charismatic queen here in the middle of this feminine energy. So there's a sense that either right at the beginning of the month or in the month of October, you were shown your sovereignty. What does Spirit mean by that? You were shown you. You were shown your inner light. And it's sometimes, I'm saying you were shown, but it was almost like you just saw. You tapped into it in some way. And there's an energy here because I'm kind of looking at, you know, kind of hidden these two cards so they're out of my view. But suddenly these two cards popped into my view, and so did the Two of Wands. And this energy will come and go because this is a sense here that it's almost like you can't see it anymore. But as you do your work, and I feel this work is a calling, you will see out into the world how to proceed. You will get those dreams aligned. There is a sense in your reading, Aquarius, that there is a linear feel to it, yet at the same time, there is a sense that you're going to be going in and out of these energies. And that's okay. Sometimes it's in our doubts that we find the strength to keep going. And that strength to keep going when we don't have the clarity, that brings security, that brings a knowing that this then becomes well, there's no, how am I trying to say this, Spirit? Please, can you help me? Thank you. So Spirit's going to make me come out a little bit different, Aquarius, just to be a little bit clearer. When we have doubts, and we still do, like when we have doubts, yet we still follow our heart. Now that's very much what this energy is here. We find inspiration, and we find inspiration because as we do, things become clearer and clearer and clearer. We might do things the wrong way, but then we can correct it. Whereas if we don't do anything to begin with, we will never know because there's no course correction that comes from standing still. We can only course correct when we're in motion. So there's a sense that out of our doubts, it can either halt us in our tracks, or we can find the depth, and we can find the self-belief. This is very much the Queen of Wands here and the Strength card. To keep going, to just try. To not be afraid of failing. To not be afraid of doing it wrong. When we're forging our path, we can't do it wrong because there's no path before us. We are forging the path. Who's to say it's the wrong way? When we are trying to follow our path, yes, when we are trying to follow, a path, thank you, Spirit, we can go the wrong way because there are paths. But when we are forging our own, and Aquarius, this is what you are doing, you are forging your own path. There is no wrong way because there is no precedent. You can't take the wrong turn because you haven't created the turn yet. So this is when we're forging our own path. Yes, we go in blindly. When we follow a path, we can see the path before us. And so this tells me that you're at the very beginning of something. I see her here as holding the Ace of Wands, and here you are with the Two of Wands. There is a progression. So this makes me feel that it is very new, though some of you may have already started this. And I feel that you may have stopped because you've hit a point where you don't know anymore. And should I trust this energy? You know, and suddenly Spirit's just reminded me what this card is that we can't see. I mean, I can see that this one's the Three of Pentacles, but I couldn't remember. And suddenly it said, and these cards are hiding the Ten of Swords. There is an ending. It still brings doubt. So as you do your craft, there are still doubts. And I love how this is in between the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, because there is such a progression here, which tells me that through the doubt you continued. Regardless of the doubt. Slowly, methodically. Okay, this Three of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. The Pentacles is not a flash in the pan energy. It is not an energy that does for the sake of doing. It can be in its detrimental sense. But that's not how I'm getting it here. I'm getting it here as honing in on your craft, learning what you need to learn. And getting to a point, even through the doubts, that now you are starting to see this worked, this didn't work, this was good, that wasn't. And you've built up a little bit of, I was going to say momentum, but Spirit's saying it's not even momentum, because momentum is going to make you feel like you're picking up speed. You're not picking up speed. What you're picking up on through the month of November, Aquarius, is you're picking up on, oh, this is how I can do it. It's that trial and error. And that's where the momentum is you've gone from a 3 to an 8. So that tells me there are 5 attempts in between those. And some have failed and some haven't, but you haven't given up. And that's why you've got this beautiful feminine energy here. So why is this feminine energy here? And even though Spirit pulled me away to talk about the 5 other cards, why am I still holding these? And as a reader, I always ask myself those questions, and I follow the guidance that I'm given. I wasn't given the guidance. I didn't even think of putting these cards down. And that's because this energy throughout the month is what carries you through the month, but also what sustains you through the month. So there's almost a sense of, on the other side of this energy is this energy. So what does all this feminine energy tell me with these doubts? Because this Two of Swords, I'm getting as doubts. In your reading, doubts. Doubts of what stands between you and your dreams. And I'm even getting Aquarius. Now, I almost said Capricorn then. It was almost gonna roll off my tongue. So please, if you have Capricorn in your chart, or if you just even feel called, go and listen to that message. And I think it might be a prequel, so a message that comes before this. And it might not be for all of you, because remember, we're at different stages. So some of you might not quite be in this energy yet. You might be more in the Capricorn energy coming into this. Or there might be something in the Capricorn reading, which I'm not going to tell you anything about, but I think that can jump you into this energy. Okay, there's a reminder in the Capricorn energy about what you need to maybe, I was going to say jump into this energy, okay, to access this energy. There's just going to be a little something that you need. Because for some of you, I'm getting, there's almost doubts in what you can even dream for your life. This Two of Wands is, you've got the world. The world is your oyster. What do you want to dream for yourself? What can you see for yourself? And there's a sense that it's almost like, oh, I can't. And I feel that this happens. This has happened to me quite a few times in the last 5 or 6 years. 4 and 5 years, sorry. I got to points where I no longer knew, what do I want? And not even a sense of what do I want in the tangible, but what can I dream up for myself? Like when I'm daydreaming, what do I dream for myself? And it's almost like, I don't know. And for those of you that know me, I am a daydreamer. I love nothing more, and this is, I mean, for most people, this is an insignificant card in the tarot. It is my favorite card because it is such a big part of who I am. Daydreaming and that whole getting caught up, even if it's a fantasy. It doesn't matter. It fuels my soul. It gives me a sense that, do you know what? We are limitless. We are limited because we have this physicalness that we have to abide by. But there's this part of us that is unlimited. And I feel that I tap into that when I daydream. My daydreams are not limited. I can dream whatever I want. It's not to say that I'm going to be able to make it, bring it into reality. But that's sometimes not even the point. It's just that ability to dream beyond what I can see. And so this energy of not being able to do that troubled me at first. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't daydream anymore, and I've had to learn and understand why. And sometimes it's because we have come to such a big ending. And I think this, Capricorn, this is why I've been drawn to share a little bit about me, which I don't very often do in these readings, but sometimes it's important. When there's a very big ending and we are left with such a clear slate, it is difficult to build on that clean slate. And I came to realize for myself, so this, I'm not saying that this is how you might be feeling, Capricorn, though I feel when I am called to share, because there's a link or there's a message in my story that you'll be able to resonate with or understand. There was a sense that my slate was so clean that I almost didn't know where to begin. It was like suddenly I felt the openness. I really felt that the world was my oyster. The world was in my hand because I didn't have to work around this or I didn't have to work around that because there was nothing in front of me to work around. And there was a time where I kind of pushed against that, as in, well, then if I've got a clean slate, let me just dream up whatever. But there was a sense in me, because this Two of Swords is not a bad card, and I don't want you to feel like it is. It is twofold, like when I'm talking about it with here, it's the doubts that come in, but it's also this knowing of, am I at this stage capable of even imagining what my future could be? Have I healed everything in my last journey so that I'm not dragging with me maybe a bit of trauma or a little bit of that energy, that then I may build these new dreams from a place of fear or of I don't want that to happen again, so I'm going to avoid this or avoid that. So there's a sense that very deep within us, it's not the time to dream, to push. Okay, just think of something, think of anything. There's almost this sense of, okay, from this space, can I acknowledge the openness? Can I sit with it knowing I don't know? And can I be receptive to what comes to me? Because the Queen of Wands is the most magnetic, charismatic queen of the tarot. And she's depicted as the beautifulest queen. She's got this magnetic energy. People notice her. And it's not, I mean, it can be that she is like physically beautiful, but there's more, it's charismatic. And I love charismatic more than beautiful, because charismatic, a person that is charismatic, and again, doesn't matter if you're male or female, they've got this je ne sais quoi. They've got this quality that you can't quite picture, you can't quite put your finger on, but you're drawn to them. And that is eternal. That is something deep. And the black cat is here because you can't put your finger on it, but there's just something that doesn't make you want to look away. And she's got the sunflower. She knows who she is. There's an inner strength about her, but she has no armor. She doesn't have any walls up. She's strong in her vulnerability. She's strong in her gentleness. And the Empress, she embodies all the queens. So here, not only do you have the 4 queens in the Empress, and then the Empress is the level up of the 4 queens, so it's like 5 queens. You've also got the Queen of Wands twice. So it's like you've got 6 queens, and I'm almost seeing this, the Strength card is almost like another queen. Not part of any of the suits, just above it even. So there's a sense here that you have got like 7 queens in your reading. That's a lot of receptive energy. And with this 2 of Swords and this 2 of Wands, I really want to say, Aquarius, don't even try to imagine what your life will be like. Don't even imagine, because what I'm getting with this feminine energy, this receptive energy, is you can't even imagine it. From where you are standing today, you can't even imagine it. So to imagine would almost, to try to imagine, thank you Spirit, would almost be a disservice to you, because you're not even going to imagine anywhere near what is possible. You will with time, you will, as you take those steps forward, you will come to see it. Because every time you take a step forward, every time you try something and then go, that didn't really feel right, I'm going to try it a different way, you are receiving guidance. You are receiving knowledge. You are receiving, the Wands is the passion and the drive. the information that you receive from your trials and errors fuels you. With the Queen of Swords that is embodied by this Empress, you receive the knowledge, the answers to your questions, the ideas, the downloads, the messages. With the Queen of Pentacles that this Empress embodies, you receive the tangible things that you need. People will come, the money will come, the resources, whatever you need will come, but you must be in the doing. With the Queen of Cups that the Empress embodies, you will be filled up in your doing, because the cup, if you allow your cup to run empty, meaning you don't allow yourself to receive, you will be giving from a very empty space. And that's not what I see here for you, Aquarius. You'll be giving from a very fulfilled space. You will have your doubts and your questions and your logic that will go, oh my gosh, why are you doing this? It would just be so much easier to drop this and just go and do the mundane. Go and do what everybody else is doing, but you can't, because you're so called to do this. And even in this energy, you know that. Because with this Two of Swords, I'm getting here, you know, when it is in tune with these beautiful feminine energies, this is, I'm not going to allow the outer world to distract me. I'm not going to allow the past to tell me I can't. I'm not going to allow the people around me to make me feel less than, or to make me feel the 3 is all I'm worthy of. Or stop here because, you know, you're doing okay. Why chase more? And it's not a chasing. There's no chasing cards here at all. It's a knowing that this is your path and you need to see it to fruition. What starts off as a little instinct, you know, the cats function on instinct, turns into a roaring lion. It grows and it wraps around you and it gives you strength and drive and abundance so that you can actually walk this path. This is the masculine energy of bringing what's in the untangible, the downloads, the ideas, the passion, the drive, bringing it into this reality. So that's the tide. You're putting things out into the world. But with the 3 and the 8, it's slow and methodical. And the reason why I also say it's slow and methodical, because that's the energy of these 2 cards, but also with this receptive energy, because every time you do something, Aquarius, you are going to stop and see how you feel about it. You are going to put things out on the tide, let them go out into the world, but you are going to be mindful enough and take your time enough that you are going to look at what the tide brings you back. The information, the resources. You are going to be receptive with what the tide comes back to you with. And then you continue. You're birthing something into the world, Aquarius. And the world needs it, because this is, I want to say, not negotiable. And we all have free will. That is a common law of reality. Our reality, we have our free will. But this is not going to be called into question because you won't allow it to be, because this is your will. This is the wands as well. This is tapping into your will and what you want, even though there's a big aspect of not knowing completely what that looks like yet. But you see the openness in front of you. This is you standing here, allowing the tide to go out, seeing what that looks like, and then allowing the tide to come back in with this feminine energy and seeing what that looks like. Wow, Aquarius, I'm very, very in love with your reading, because this is not easy to do, but you are so called. You are so called. Oh, and so blessed. Beloved child of the universe, believe that goodness will arise in your life. Trust in the beauty that is destined for you. And the affirmation is, I open my arms to receive the many blessings meant for me. Could there be a better card for this feminine energy? And this doubt, when it arises, trust. And there's that beauty, you know. Trust in the beauty that is destined for you. Because if there's one card in the tarot that depicts beauty, it is the Queen of Wands. Magic carpet ride. Your enchanted heart knows the universe is always up to something good. Oh, I love that. And that's why you're waiting for it to come in. That's why I think this energy of waiting, doing, and waiting to see what comes in, I don't think it's going to be hard for you. There will be moments of doubt where you question, but there's something so deep within you that knows, that trusts. Your enchanted heart knows the universe is always up to something good. Embrace the unexpected, for it will bring special blessings to your life. The universe delivers grace through the unexpected. And look, this feminine energy is grace. It doesn't push or hustle or fight. Look at the way they're even sitting. I mean, especially if she's laid back, going, bring it. I'm ready. There are no walls. There are no protection mechanisms. There's just openness and vulnerability and strength and desire. And we have summer house. Play and a fresh surge of creative energy will bring joy, supportive friends, and exciting prospects into your world. I'll read that again because I got a little bit tongue-tied. Play and a fresh surge of creative energy will bring joy, supportive friends, and exciting prospects into your world. I embrace my opportunities for sacred play. And you know, I feel this, even though it's work, I feel whatever it is, because it's creative and it brings you joy, it brings you this sense of creative energy and joy and opportunities. They're all coming in for you, Aquarius. If there's one thing to avoid in the month of November, Aquarius, it's definitely any sort of negative people or negative energy. You've got your own doubts to deal with, but any form of negativity, any form that makes you feel unworthy of receiving, take a moment, incorporate that into the work that you do to release it, because you do not need that energy. This is beautiful. Okay, we take that one and this one. Okay, so final letting go messages we have. If you have a problem, you have an opportunity to let go of all blame. And you know, Aquarius, if anything, this is a reminder of pretty much what I was just saying. Just don't allow negativity to come in. There's a sense here that you're not even going to blame others for what comes in. You're just going to be like, do you know what? They have got their stuff that they're going through, but I don't need to take that on board. I think you will be this gentle, almost I get this feeling, this gentle, strong, solid energy, but you won't buy into any drama this month. You just don't have time for it. And when you're in these moments of doubts, when you're in this working through and doing your trials and errors and things like that, they will be challenges and problems that bring opportunity. They will be challenges and problems that then guide you like, oh, now I see. Okay, I see a different way of doing that. Beautiful, brilliant, let's do it. Let's go. And your final card is, if you don't release the arrow, your aim is all for nothing. Aim straight and shoot the arrow. Aquarius, I can't make these things up. Like literally it is, you have to do this month. At the very beginning of the reading, I said, don't stop. Nothing can come in if you don't put anything out there. You must take the steps, even in your doubts. You must move forward in order for you to manifest, for you to bring things in, for you to put things out there and for you to bring things in. If you don't release the arrow, your aim is all for nothing. You can have the perfect aim, but if you don't let go of the arrow, you'll never hit your bullseye. And you know, even this means you might need to shoot your arrow more than once. And this is this message. Try and try again. Try and try again. Oh, truly special reading for you, Aquarius. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends, sending you so much love and light. Take care. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.